Welcome, dear viewers. I'm excited to have you here today to explore the exciting possibilities of the new Multiworkflows. Whether you want to streamline daily routines, kick off new projects, or implement innovative ideas, Multiworkflows help you work flexibly and purposefully. Let's dive in together and boost our productivity. Here's a quick look at the Ultimate Workflow version 2.4. A massive workflow for generating images, offering countless possibilities, while remaining easy to use. But first, let's take a look at Murphy's new Multiworkflows. They're more compact and easy to understand. In total, there are 6 different workflows tailored to specific models. The first workflow is optimized for SDXL and uses an Inspire sampler. The next workflow is also designed for SDXL but utilizes a custom advanced sampler. Next is a workflow using the same custom advanced sampler, but optimized for pony models. Then, there's a workflow specifically designed to use the original Flux diffusion models. For this, you should have an NVIDIA graphics card with at least 16 GB of VRAM and a minimum of 32 GB of RAM. More is always better. Next, there's a workflow for the Flux checkpoint model, which you can load directly through the ComfyUI manager. The hardware requirements here are a bit lower, but still very high. And finally, the workflow for the Flux GUF models. Depending on which model you use, the hardware requirements are lower. Even on 4 GB graphics cards, it should still work with enough time when using a 2-bit quantization. There are variants from 2 to 32 bits, and you can try to find the one that suits your system best. However, we recommend using the SDXL workflows instead. Although we are using an RTX 4080 with 16 GB VRAM and 96 GB of RAM, we still encounter occasional issues during video recording and when using Flux. For this reason, we'll also show examples using the SDXL workflow. However, the core functionalities remain the same across all workflows. Finally, we want to show you the latest updates to the Ultimate Workflow, a massive workflow that includes most of the tools created by Murphy for image generation. With this, you can use all models together, with optimizations, upscaling, and much more. We'll let it run for a moment so you can get a small impression. We've essentially turned everything off, and it works almost like one of Murphy's easy workflows. That was SDXL, and we'll now switch to Flux and run it again. Just flip a switch, easy peasy, right? We've sped up the model loading time in the video a bit to keep things from getting boring. Oh, we should switch here. We figured that out together during Olivio's last livestream. The generation itself is now back to original speed. If you're not familiar with the big Ultimate Workflow yet, you should start with the video, new update, the Ultimate Comfy Workflow for Perfect Images VA. It's a great starting point. We'll link it below this video so you don't have to search for it. If you're completely new to ComfyUI, we recommend our latest video, where we explain in detail how everything works using Murphy's easy workflows as an example. You'll also find an installation guide, in both German and English in our playlist. While it's not entirely up to date, it contains all the important links you'll need. However, the development team has since released an installation file, which greatly simplifies the process, especially if you have a relatively recent NVIDIA graphics card. So, enough with the introductions, but Murph and my little sister insisted. So, for those who are still not familiar with ComfyUI, here's the ultimate crash course. Like I said, Murphy's easy workflows are the best example, but don't think it's all child's play. My sister already told me to show you how to really tackle it. She's definitely no beginner.
Sis, seriously. Just because I'm not making progress, my German language training, doesn't mean you can act like a bull in a china shop. Be nice to the viewers, leaves remaining. You can't talk to them like you talk to me. Hello my dear viewers, I'm so glad you're watching our video. Unfortunately, I'm a bit behind on training my German AI voice. But don't worry, if my wild button, pushing sister causes total chaos, I'll step in. So, sis, let's get going! The viewers are waiting! Step on it!
Hey! Come on down you two beauties. Ziggy, now just start with the multi-workflows as discussed.
I've already started, but as long as you're messing around, I can't get started with the explaining. I'm really pissed off. Those two know-it-alls dump all the stress on me because of too much work and then tell me what to do. So, sorry, dear viewers, you shouldn't have heard that. But today is my day. My English pronunciation is way better, they'll never reach that level. That's why I'm always the one sent ahead to explain everything to you, even if I know less about Comfy. But when it comes to the multi-workflows, I'm totally on top of it, and a pro. You've probably already noticed that I've had the workflow running the whole time. Now, let's go through it step by step. First up, here are some things the Comfy developers have released recently, or things that even Murphy and Ciz don't know about yet. I'd say, not bad for little Ziggy. Just switch from bullets to arrows here. No idea how long this has been possible, but I guess Murph didn't have it on his radar. We've known the new menu for a while now, and it's been the standard for some time. But for those who still want to live in the past, here's how you can switch it back. But we've already decided on the new version for a while now. If you need information about the nodes, you can enable that here. Okay, this isn't new. Murphy uses it when he's playing around with new nodes he's not that familiar with. This is supposed to be pretty cool, but since we don't use the regular reroute in our workflows, and instead do everything with the special RG3 reroute node, nothing really changes for us here. That's it for now. Okay, now for the absolute coolest new feature for me. Just watch, how awesome is this? If you haven't marked anything, just click Fit View at the bottom right and ta-ta-ta-ta. You'll see the whole workflow. Whether this works with the ultimate, we'll see. Now I click on the header of a group, and voila! Next, I click on the save node with the image. Super awesome. Murphy's jaw is going to hit the floor. I'm the ultimate geek. Yeah! I'm so good. I'm going to use that right now. And we're finally starting the workflow. I think you didn't mind me showing you the new features of Comfy first, even though it wasn't coordinated with Ciz and Murph. Oh silly me. Hold on Ziggy, slow down, take it easy. Time to switch into explanation mode. Now I'm going to show you the differences compared to the easy workflows. Here, you can upload an image to optimize it, improve it with image to image, or even create something completely new. The pros, and those of you who've been following our channel for a while will probably say, yeah, I know that. But there are a few small differences. You shouldn't toggle this group manually, because it automatically sets the size for your image. Unlike in the ultimate workflow, I think you can choose there. So, just flip the switch at image to image, and you're good to go. I'll explain the denoise thing live in just a moment. A new addition to the text prompt group is the image prompt group. Compared to the multi-workflows from 2 weeks ago, there's now a dedicated group for this. The advantage is that you can attach a styler here, instead of the image prompt group, or even alongside it, if you're already a bit more advanced. When using image to image, it's recommended to disable the load image node here. This way, the image you're using for image to image is analyzed, and the prompt is generated from it. There just wasn't enough time for this in the early multi-workflows, but image to image is only really fun with the prompt mixer. This lets you control how the prompt from the text prompt and the prompt from the image prompt are used together to create the image. In the ultimate workflow, this kind of thing appears at least 3 times. Set both sliders to 2, and it will first use the text prompt, followed by the prompt from the image you uploaded. Set both to 1, and it works the other way around. The prompt generated from your image will be used first. Set both to 3, and only the text prompt will be used. Makes sense, right? So no prompt from your image, even if you let it generate one. And the most important setting for image to image is, of course, setting both to 4. Then only the prompt from the pic to story node will be used. You can also control what should be recognized in the image with the text input node. Some of you might remember the rat and hamster, and choosing painting or photo almost always makes sense. You can mix the values too, like 2 and 3 or 1 and 4, it doesn't matter how, just test it out, and you'll be surprised by the quirky results. Plus, you might understand a bit more the difference between clip L and clip G. This little group here is used for automatic selection. You'll find it in lots of places in the ultimate workflow. Works from top to bottom. If there's a signal on the first input, that one gets used. If not, it moves to the second, and so on. The last active input should always receive a signal. We usually use this to skip a group if there's no signal on the inputs above it. Nothing has changed with the Lora group. Oops, actually something has. In the new multi version, you now need to put a comma after the trigger word if you're using one. It will then be written at the beginning of the prompt, and no comma will be automatically added. The reason is that without Lora, the prompt would otherwise start with a comma. Doesn't make much of a difference, but catching that was too much work for Murph. In the sampler groups, Murph added these info nodes. Here you can also see which prompt was used, and how the commas are handled. Nothing has changed with the save image groups, and they should work just like in the easy workflows. We already showed you how to turn them on, and how to configure them in our last video. Why Murphy made the sampler group toggleable? No idea, he probably just wanted to test something. You can simply change the color of the group, and the switch will disappear. As Sis always tells Murphy, you're allowed to be a thumb, you just have to know how to help yourself. Alright, let the games begin. I've explained everything that's important. Wait, one more thing comes to mind, the sidebar. You'll see for yourself, I don't need to explain that further. So, sit back, relax, pay attention, and enjoy. Set all the settings for a classic image to image and fire away. Okay, looks like she has one finger too many, but better than having no hands like before and a much prettier face. But let's not get bogged down with such things. Alright, I could try a negative prompt, or the Flux workflow, or maybe a different seed.
Sweetie, what are you doing? The prompt can't work. You've got the mixer set to 4.
Oops, you're right. I had the values turned up too high. I got a bit too excited and you weren't here to stop me. But it'll fit soon. Awesome, now it's working, the hand is perfect. But, hey, now the other one doesn't fit. I'm getting frustrated.
For that, Flux would be good, or even better, the hand detailer from Murphy's Ultimate Workflow. Or why not try it with a hand Lora?
Hand sis, hand, but yeah, good idea, I'll give that a try. Big hug, the Lora model helped. Now the hands are perfect, just as they should be. And yes, Murph would say, as soon as you do it right, it just works. Here on the left, you can see all the chaos I caused, and I also deleted the prompt. But hey, that was all part of my plan, I just wanted to show you something cool. Drag and drop the first image in, and everything is back to normal. Pretty cool, right? Alright, let me quickly clean up the list, and then I'll go through the script Murph gave me, so you can see all the cool things you can do here, and how easy it really is. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and be amazed. Ready for some cool tricks? Get ready to be surprised. Let's try a different image. This one was created with SD1.5, and I think it's a good example to show you some things. First, let's look at the noise setting for image to image. I'll set it to 0.2. This makes only minor changes. the higher the value, the more it alters the image at once. It creates a completely new image based only on the prompt. I'm not sure what's connected to the first input on the image switch right now. Just to be safe, I'll turn off the extra image here, that way, it will definitely use the image from the start. The important thing is, if you're using Pictostory, there must be an image available for editing, otherwise, the node will throw an error. Makes sense, right? Let me quickly check. Oh, I could have left it as it was. The image here is connected at the bottom, so the image from the start takes priority if it's enabled. But you could swap it if you want to use image to image, and generate a different prompt here.
Sis, just stop it. You're only confusing the audience with this stuff.
Alright, fine, I was just trying to help, whatever. Quickly check if both values are set to 4. That way, only the prompt generated from the image will be used. Alright, let's go! Alright, 0.2 turned out to be a bit too low. But you can repeat the process if you want to transform a photo into a painting without drastically altering facial features. The Ultimate Workflow also offers the option to use additional Loras, for example, during the upscaling process, a really cool feature. I could quickly add the image comparer node from RG3 for comparison. Maybe Olivia will find the time to watch this video, as for some reason, this node doesn't work for him. Murphy finds it very handy and of course, I do too. You don't know Olivio? That can't be true. His channel is legendary. Olivio, aka Hackerman, you should definitely check it out. But don't worry, we're not doing any ads here, just a little tip. Alright, let's turn up the denoise value. We want a cool image, and it should definitely change. Alright, now Ziggy can finally press the buttons again. No more writing, no more building, or hanging nodes, just bam bam. What a blast! Just watch and enjoy. Yippee! This is some seriously fun shit, I'm loving it. And now let's use Murph as the base image, hee hee hee! Ouch. Alright sis. I know I should show the new features of the Ultimate Workflow, but it's just so much fun turning Murph into Mad Max. Now, let's take a quick look at the Ultimate Workflow, where there's an exciting new feature, Clip Attention Multiply. This feature is designed to further optimize text generation, especially in SDXL and possibly Flux as well. Be sure to test it out and let us know what you find. We're really looking forward to your feedback. Speaking of which, we love hearing from you. If you've made it this far, why not leave us a like? It costs you nothing but helps us out a lot. Just one click, and it means so much. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Thanks so much, you're awesome! Murphy is still not fully satisfied with the save group, but he's made some great improvements. He's added a new method to quickly save images. If you want to include both workflow and metadata in the image, though there are still the 2 save nodes that he created specifically for this purpose. This way, you can save and organize everything without much hassle. If you want to upload images to CivitAI and ensure that the Loras you've used are automatically recognized, you'll need to input them manually here. This will save the information in the metadata. For SDXL, it remains automated, but if you turn off this option, it still works. Not perfect, but for now, it's okay for us. Here's the main reason why Murphy is unhappy. He hasn't found a better solution yet, but maybe the developer will tweak these save nodes a bit. Unfortunately, our last suggestion was ignored, but we're curious to see if a solution will come up. Oh, and just a little info, we noticed this during Olivio's livestream recently. This setting runs better and faster, which is why it's now the default. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Murph and Sis have already disappeared, but I'm going to generate a few more images for you. I'll speed up the video a bit, but you can still watch the buttons I press. Wah! Before I forget, of course, I'm supposed to send many warm greetings from Sis and Murphy. Phew, if I'd forgotten that, I'd have heard about it. True. I'll say goodbye to dear viewers. I'm just going to press some buttons now without testing anything beforehand, so if some images turn out a bit off, hey, you can always learn something. Bye.
you.